stock market is a runaway train. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome into the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very, very tricky times. All right, folks, thank you so much for checking in today. I hope you're all doing great. So yeah, the stock market is a complete runaway train. Like the stock market's like the Titanic. Like it's headed for an iceberg. This is the most euphoric investment market I've ever seen. Real estate leading the charge, of course. Like I've always said, if real estate fails, everything fails. But I believe the next catalyst that's going to create a downturn, and I believe we're in depressionary risk at the moment, because like we've talked about, depressions do cycle every 100 years based on history. So that math already lines up for a depression. When you throw in a health pandemic that's created the type of division, strain, and balance problems that we currently have in society, government, civil, mainstream media, like you name it, investment markets, everything needed. The catalyst is really there. Most of us are waiting for the other shoe to drop. And what I'm witnessing currently with the stock market, folks, is nothing more than a Ponzi scheme, euphoria. And we all pretty much know the reason for that is stimulus money. The government is lying to us, for starters. They're telling us what they want to hear, what we want to hear. They're trying to control the population by, giving these narratives. And when you double the amount of money in circulation in the form of free money sent out to every household in America, and then giving them Webull and Robinhood to start playing day trader on, pumping up all the stock values. I mean, that is it crystal clear? For me, it's crystal clear. That's why we're having the valuations. And then when the stock market now, because of the digital age that we live in with information just at our fingertips, everybody is just glued to their screens, don't want to work anymore, want to make money and get rich quick. And like we've talked about with Warren Buffett, be greedy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy. And we're seeing greed in a really big way right now. And there's a lot of kids and bubblegum content creators that have all their balls in the air right now. It's a massive juggling act. They need you glued to their channels because they want you to stay close to the stock market, because they know right now there's euphoria in the stock market. I believe the stock market will be the catalyst to do that. It did that in the last depression. It would be no surprise to see it do it in the next depression. A depression is coming, but it's going to take something very, very big to happen. It won't be subtle in this situation. And a lot of people have predicted like this depression will make the last one look like, a warm up. And that's kind of scary in a sense. And again, I'm not here to promote fear or peddle fear or anything. My goal is to protect people, because I lived through the last housing bubble. I bought into the narrative as real estate's too big to fail. You only win in real estate. And that was not the case. Again, as a real estate agent, my goal is, if anybody's buying, just come in with a down payment that puts that purchase within its rent range, in case something, Lord forbid, happens to you. You could always turn that property into a rental, which is really what we need to be more concerned about anyway. I always say you should be more concerned about owning other people's houses than your own. Forgo your own house temporarily, stack up some rental properties, and then retire nicely, down the road. But today's digital diet and euphoria that we've just created through the pandemic and stimulus, people want it now. They're willing to leverage, finance, buy a margin, you name it. They're doing it out there. It is very, very volatile. I personally believe that this is like people on the Titanic, playing the people. This is just headed downhill. This is headed downhill. And, we just got to be really, really aware. We want to be very conscious of what's going on. We want to be very hypersensitive to what's going on. But more than that, we got to understand this is now psychological warfare. This is people. This is the psychology of people. This is psychology of sales. This is the psychology of stimulus and the pandemic creating a stay-at-home culture and giving free handouts. And like we've talked about, when in history have we told banks, you can't foreclose on these people? And there's, foreclosures are happening. Eviction bans, you can't evict these people. Defund the police. You can't, we have too many, and then now we see smash and grab robberies. All this stuff has blowback. We've talked about this. This is all blowback. happening right now. And so one of the things I'm currently seeing, folks, is the big warning sign right now is the stock market. The stock market has become this gambling climate, this gambling atmosphere where just everyday people are in the investment markets playing day trader. That's just the bottom line. And it's gonna come back to bite them. It's just going to. And what's gonna happen in this downturn is my prediction is the stock market is gonna drag the real estate market into it. The last recession of 08, it was the real estate market crashed, and then the stock market followed because people needed money, and so they started cashing out their stocks at a loss. It's not a bad idea to pull, take the lead of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, who sold off their own stocks, the highest valued stocks in the markets, dumping their own company stocks when they said they would never do that. I mean, that alone should have people bailing out of the stock market, but it doesn't. People are still just playing in the stock market and trying to speculate, and the balls are in the air. And when this game of musical chairs stops, someone's going to get left without a seat. And my guess is it's going to be all these retail investors, which is us, which is the the majority of the population that's entered the stock market through the pandemic. People don't want to go back to work. You can offer them $30 an hour to work at McDonald's or stay home and play on their investment accounts. They're going for the investment accounts. They don't want to go. They're in their parents' basement right now, trading. And, I go to the store all the time, and the clerks, most of them don't want to be there. They're not happy. I mean, you've masked them, you've defaced them, they can't show emotion. Their friends are playing in the stock market, having a great time, and they're at work, and no matter how much money you give them. I've always said this too. I'd rather be happy making less money than miserable making more. If I'm going to be miserable, I better be making a lot of money. And these people are not making a lot of money, and they're miserable. They don't even want to be there. So for me, like I said, that is my goal today, folks. And final thoughts. I really want you to understand this stock market is completely fake. It's completely false. It's a complete Ponzi scheme. You've got big, high, heavy hitters bailing out of it. You got big, high, heavy hitters insulating themselves with tons of cash. Cash is clearly not trash. We need our cash right now. We need to follow the lead of the ultra smart, not us pawns that are on here promoting invest with me, watch my buy sell alerts, join my live streams. These people need you to stay euphoric in the investment markets in order to keep glued to their content. They don't care about you. They want you glued to the channel. They are never going to give the warning signs that I just gave you, ever. They would never tell you to maybe jump out of the markets right now, insulate yourself with cash, get on the sidelines. They can't, or their channel goes away. And that's the bottom line, folks. So as a friend, as a content creator, somebody who just really wants to help people, somebody who's lived through the last downturn, lost a property in the process, knowing what that feels like, having come back, this time I'm following the lead of people smarter. I'm just really relying on common sense. Does it pass the smell test? Smart money, cautious money, safe money will win in this environment that we're in, and we're seeing a lot of people doing that. But of course, mainstream media is going to give you a narrative to keep you glued to their content, to keep you, and the government's going to tell you whatever they think you need to hear in order to keep the economy rolling. And it's just a matter of time before everybody shrinks back, smells the coffee, or they're going to be trying to catch a falling knife. And that, my friends, is going to be a very, very scary time in our economy, and we're going to really need to brace for it. So brace for it now. It's better to be ready for something and have it not happen than have it happen and not be ready. So I hope that helps a little bit. If it did, I humbly ask you to just give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. Go make it count today. See you on the next video.